Hello, everybody, and welcome in. I wanted to hop right into the light box because, yes, I have limited time and also I'm extremely tired. This video is being recorded very late at night and I'm super tired out from a really busy day. I'm all ready for the antique show and I'm so ready I'm ready for bed because I did do quite a few eBay listings as well. I wanted to welcome you in and say thank you very much for the love and the support and the great comments. Now the last 5 videos are really doing very well. So now I know what all of you would love to see, and it's my fancy shows and tells. So here we are. I'll bring these back in just a little bit. So that's the teaser for later. So please stay tuned through the whole video because you've got to see these two 18 karat gold and really fine dip pens for a very, very important person. We'll come back to those in just a little bit. And I received this letter in the mail, and I've been getting quite a bit of, letters and cards, and I had to show this, and I think this inspired me for today's video. It's kind of a catch-all. Many of these items have been acquired over the last 25 to 28 years of constant, habitual, and dedicated buying and consuming. And when people ask me, well, what do you do with your personal collections? Well, I look at them, I love them, and I sell them. So, don't be fooled by the videos. I do sell a strong, 75 or 85% of what comes through the door. But this card inspired me. You know who you are that sent this, and this was just a beautiful love token that I received in the mail. So thank you again for all the cards. And if I don't mention you with the cards, just know that my desk is completely full and I really appreciate all the love. So what I wanted to do is talk about kind of excessive decorative arts that have infiltrated my collection. As I reached for jewelry, I would have a tendency to see very important and historically important and just beautiful decorative objects of virtue. And I'm going to show you just a sampling, and we're going to go kind of quick. I will be doing a video in depth on origin, values, construction. This is just a quick, just a very quick preview so that I don't, let's say, overstimulate my mind before bedtime. And I'm sure you all understand. And I am very hyper and I'm very hyperactive, so I do need to settle in. These are thought to be late 18th century, so 1790 into 1830, 1840. This form did last for a while, so it is sometimes very difficult to date such boxes. And for function, I'll leave that out until the next video. And for origin, I will leave that out as well. These are thought to be French, is what these are thought to be. And they're these beautiful, highly modeled, and almost jeweled Limoges enamel. And then hand painted, and then these little pallions are placed on and then all fused to the surface. And then underneath the enamel are these foil pallions, stars, leaves, this central rosette style. Absolutely beautiful push and pull of the surface and so finely modeled. Can you imagine glass enamel lasting in such beautiful condition on a container that was scooted around and used? It doesn't seem possible. So absolutely beautiful in the construction and the fineness of detail. Again, this came in with a collection of Victorian jewelry way back, I don't even know, 20 years ago. And I never did full research on such things. So I leave some information out because I'm not certain, and I learn every day of my life. And I keep telling people, I'm not a know-it-all. I'm not the quote expert, I just know what I love. And I look at construction. This one's also very, very early. Most of these were considered Georgian. Most of these, this style of box. And, when you say, what were such boxes used for? Well, that, that's up for debate. Since we weren't there, 150 years ago, what did they use them for? Most were snuff boxes, some were trinket boxes, and some were just tiny jewelry caskets. Some that you'll see in a little bit are calling card cases. Some are cigarette cases. But this is sterling silver and hand chased and engraved. What I loved about this luxury item was it was decorated all the way around. Why would they decorate the back of this? Who would really, quote, see it? The owner would. And so finely done. Check the edges of these boxes and containers. There's a tiny hallmark there, likely for silver or origin. Most of the times, these are signed up inside the edge. Sometimes they'll be signed along this edge or up here as well. There's probably some hidden marks that I've yet to discover, even though I've owned that for 15 years. But that's solid sterling silver and hand engraved. And like I said, thanks for joining in, and thank you for the positive feedback I've been receiving on these shows and tells. Now I know exactly what you guys want to see. Ladies and gentlemen, I should say. This, please stay tuned because this is extraordinary. Let's look at this little jeweled box, and I was going to have these totally unwrapped and ready to go, and yet I just I ran out of time, and then I ran for the phone to get the video started, and I thought, what am I going to talk about today? And I thought, I'll talk about these boxes since they're out on my desk. I am doing a presentation this week at the Gem and Mineral and Lapidary Art organization, and I'm really excited about it because I haven't been there for about a year, and I hadn't done a presentation in a while. I'm checking the edges for hallmarks. Normally I'll find some there. I forget where this box is marked. I mean, you've really got to look, but that's solid 800 and sterling silver. But look at that jeweled basket. Sometimes these are even little diamonds, and I don't think I checked that one yet. I would not be surprised, but definitely a peridot. Ruby, looks like a citrine, and then that half pearl border, but look how large the half pearls are. They're very large. Normally they're, very small, and then that glass panel, that definitely says Georgian, that definitely says, early 1800s. And these are just, I love these for items that were just so excessive that have lasted the years, years of use, and things being melted down for metal. And that one, origin on that one, that's difficult. Most people would say English. And I could live with that, And then there's going to be someone who's going to fight about that and say, oh, no, that's Italian. That's Italian this, or that's Italian this. Okay, everyone settle down. This one's sterling and beautiful engine turned enamel. And I love this box very, very much. And I guess why I kept this one was color. Was color. Oh, I see what happened. I lost the little pin out of the back of that. So the hinge is loose. But sterling silver, and this one to me is American by what I've seen. And this one's much, much newer than the rest of what I just showed you. This one's, easily 20th century. And I on these things, I don't know, I just think they're beautiful ensemble. When they're all together, there's like this chorus of form and color and brilliance that we see. This one I still haven't figured out. This is a whopper. I think this is like almost 230 grams of solid sterling silver. But the enamel work on these and the finish of the metal, and then the whole back of this is done with enamel as well. This is just incredible. And then you have to worry when you do these videos about pronunciation. Some people say guilloche and some people say guilloche. So I say guilloche. I always have. Guilloche is the technique. It's an engine turning underneath a translucent glass enamel. Look how that looks of rays of light from underneath the sea when light goes through the ocean. Look at that, like ocean waves, and then that beam of light. I could look at that for 5 hours and never tire of it. The sides are even enamel. just look at the craft, a little tiny chip there. So just be careful with the enamel work. No chip on the top of it though. And then that open work, that open foliate scrolls, really fantastic. Just absolutely gorgeous box, and was used, did contain, maybe on this one, a larger sponge. Because maybe that was a scent box, because why would it be open on the top? Then you got another expert that comes in and says, oh no, it's this or that, or oh, they go nuts. No fighting, no lecture series, no fighting. We're looking at beauty, we're looking at form, and we're looking at something that's lasted well over 100 years, and absolutely stunning glass enamel. Can you imagine that large of a surface not being chipped or scratched or broken? That's insanity is what that is. So, yeah, that one was very special to me. And origin on that one, well, I mean, in technique, it's very Swiss, and likely, probably Paris is my guess on that one. Oh, there's some hallmarks. I miss those. See, now I need to go back to my Hallmark book and see if that's like the head of Apollo or the head of Diana or the Falcon. So I need to do some research on that one. But what I do is I think that one's been with me for well over 15 or 16 years now. That came in from an auction as well. This one's much smaller. But look at the decoration on the surface. So these things make me smile. And when I learned enameling in school, because after all, I'm a silversmith, and for those of you who don't know, my name is Jason Adams, and I'm a silversmith, trained as an artist, I'm a photographer, I was a veterinary assistant, I'm an animal advocate, and the list rolls on of what I've done in my life and what defines me as a human. But my collections, I knew how difficult it was to enamel. And to hand paint that Limoges style enamel, just think about that. That's ground up glass into a fine powder, and then hand painted with a tiny little brush and fired many, many, many times. Put into a kiln to make sure that that's fired onto the surface. That's all glass enamel. And then this outside cobalt border. Why stop with just that? Of course, you have to frame it in something. And then, of course, look at the back. I was always taught in school that the back was just as important in the front as the front. So when you get into objects of virtue or things that are decorative arts that are important, please look at the detail and the construction of these things. That's where the magic is. Again, the hallmarks are here somewhere. I'm going to have to do a video on hallmarks. I'm going to have to do, now I'm going to have to do my... it'll be my 1,000th. This one's 800 silver. It would be my 1,000th video. Hallmarks of the world with Jason Adams. I could do it. I could do it. And that's another thing. Like, now I look and I say, wow, I'm 50 years old and my brain is so full. How much more can I possibly learn? And I can learn. I'm going to continue to learn every day. But this is just very elegant, very beautiful. Again, form and function. I wasn't much concerned about function. I was concerned about form, I was concerned about the fact that that was just an object of beauty that I had to have. Here's a more simple version, and I'm surprised that I bring this on, but this is all shell. And I do collect green snail shell buttons because they're harder to find than the normal just abalone shell or, seashell, if you will. But green snail was one of my things that, I just thought was absolutely beautiful. But look at that. Look at the color of that. And someone else would say, well, that's cracked. And I would say, yep, if I was this old, I would probably look like that. This is thought to be extremely early, though. Based on the hinge construction and the riveted construction on the inside, holding this box together, this is thought to be extremely early because all of these bands then hold the box together with those tiny little sterling silver rivets that run across the surface. Origin on the box, I'm not going to comment on that. I'm just not gonna do it, if you have ideas, you can leave it in the comment section. I'm never offended by that, but I will dive deeper into these things when I have time. But I still, even though I've been on YouTube for a year now and creating a video, every few days, habitually when I can, when time allows. I want to bring these things back, eventually, and really get down into, into it rather than just on the surface every time, because I have so much more information to give. But I would consider this 1820, 1830. That's the way it feels, when it's in your hand. That's the way it feels. Did they continue to produce those, more towards our times? Sure, they did. This one, I should have done research on this because I thought I had done this before. And then I know someone's going to put in the comments, oh, that's okay, great. It's sterling silver. But why I love this is, when I got into cigarette cases, which I had collected for, I would say I collected for 21 years now, 21 or 22 years. It took me a while. But what I had noticed was they weren't going for much money. And when I would feel the weight of the silver, like how heavy the sterling was, I was like, why aren't people buying these? So then I started buying them, and now, almost 2 decades later, I have, I don't know how many. I don't even want to make a comment on how many. It would sound unhealthy. So, but what I loved is that these were, the cigarettes were still in the case, and that was, to me, just incredible that like this was used. That's what this was used for. And they always have these kind of elastic bands to hold things in place. And where is the mark on this one? I keep looking for it. Oh, it's on the outside. I just found it. Remember? 2 seconds ago, I just found it. And I always push the buttons down before I snap them closed. It's just wise to not wear out that hinge. But that's a little sapphire. And it is a real sapphire on that one. But look at the hammered finish. Hammered and almost planished in a way, but still hammered, and giving it this tree bark texture on purpose. So you could see that this was hand constructed. They were proud that was hand wrought and handmade. So there's your hallmarks. That's your homework for today. You know what I should do? I should give you all homework. And make my life 10 times easier. I should say, okay, everybody, now go online and don't use Google Lens and don't use AI. And can you please find those hallmarks for me and tell me when this was made? I would guess this is probably London. I'm guessing. I don't know. I just, it's gut instinct and, from memory, and then I could study that more. That's probably London, more than likely. Maybe it went, I don't know, or I'm going to say like a lazy auction advisor, this is continental silver. It's like, no, it's not. I don't know. Everything is now all of a sudden continental. I don't know. I don't get it. But, continental. And that's all you hear anymore. I don't know why, but that's all you hear. Okay, enough of the sarcasm so I don't offend every other person that watches me. Where did the bag go for this? How could I possibly have lost the bag that was larger than my desk? I don't know. Okay, well, I can't find the bag for that, so it just goes over there. Just a few more. No, actually, okay, I'm gonna leave some more for another video, but this one was just great. This was the enameled one, and I don't remember if I brought this on yet or not, but I think I may have brought this on. Why am I struggling to get these open today? But look at that, the bright cut engraving on the inside. And that was, well, maybe it was a cheroot. I don't know the difference. Don't ask me. These are very little cigarettes. Someone's going to say, well, they're cheroots. And then I'll say, oh, okay, I don't need to be yelled at. I don't need to be yelled at. These are all the hallmarks for origin. And again, should I have done all that research? Gold gilt on the inside. So I'll distract you with something. The gold gilt on the inside. And then that bright cut, beautiful floral on the inside. So you come here to be educated, and look, today I'm just like, nope, not today. Look at my pretty things, and we'll deal with education tomorrow. But it was a long day today. There was a lot going on, and I have, well, anyways, I don't want to say, how many problems I have in my life, but there's a lot going on. That's all I'll say. This one, and then, I want to show you one picture frame, and then we'll go to the pens, and we'll say, thanks for sticking with me. It's going to be a short video today, and maybe that's a relief to most people on my channel. This one is also a cigarette case, and it is kind of formed to the pocket. When you think about putting this this in a pocket back then. It is kind of rounded, if you will, or slightly domed or curved, I guess is the right term. And then this, I think this was a thrift. I'm pretty certain this was a thrift. I can't remember, but this is Nielled enameling, and I'll let you do some of your own research on Nielled, because I could do a lecture series on that one as well. As a technique, it's very unusual to see Nielled, a checkerboard Nielled, and then I will tell you the skill and the craft that it took to put this together. Could you imagine? Could you imagine that? It just doesn't seem humanly possible sometimes that this was just a cigarette case and so labored over. And maybe that's where the learning part is today, is craft and design that actually make something magic, that again transcends a material into something that almost seems like a human couldn't create it. This one has a hallmark somewhere on the case, and again, I've lost track of it over the years. But can you imagine that? I just marvel at this one. I marvel at the timelessness of this, and this could have been made. It looks like Art Deco. It looks like 1930. I believe that. Let me take a look and see where the marking system is. I want to be certain on here. It's much before Deco. It's not 1930. But there would be people who would say, oh, that's clearly Art Deco. Why? Because it's bold and geometric and angular. No. I have a Victorian watch from around 1865, 1870, and it's covered in this almost confetti or like glitter. And the surface is all Nielled that had been, it's so finely done. I'll bring that on. And then I'll challenge someone to say, oh, well, he's wrong. That's 1930. I know for a fact that's 1930. No, that's 1900. It might be even 1890, on this one. And who knows? Form-wise, they did change the inside of those. I've seen ones that have been converted for later, quote, smoking articles, per se. All right. I almost got distracted, but not quite. My box is very dusty today, and that's okay. I collect objects of virtue and dust. So there is this picture frame, sterling silver, and I have about, well, it's probably sounds bad, but I think I now have 12 of them. And I wanted the larger size because they come very, very small. And this is just so beautiful. There's the marks right there for sterling. And then that is, again, all engine turned underneath and then inlaid with that fired on very light blue glass enamel. Does need to be cleaned, but I've never cleaned this one. This has the glass in it to hold a photograph, and I did use these back in the day to house my dogs' pictures. When my dogs would pass, I would put photographs, or my cats, I would put photographs in them of my animals, because that's how special my animals were to me and still are to me. So if that was okay to say. And then there are 3 things out on my desk, and I have to be honest and say that I don't know why these were out on my desk. I really don't. So there's this one, the Tiffany gold keychain, and then there was this one, which is an unmarked gold, high carat gold Victorian chain. And then there's this one, and I think why this one was out is because that's going to be part of my next video. So I wanted to do something on my channel and have, like, when I was a little kid with my brother, oh, here goes story time. I'm not supposed to be doing this, but I'm going to. You won't say this on the road show. Story time with Jason. It doesn't happen on, public television. But yeah, I guess story time. So this is going to be in a coming video. And when me and my brother were little, we would sit on this, kind of like nubby fabric sofa. And I remember the texture of things and the color of things. And way back then, I never thought I would say in my childhood, way back then. Wow, that was weird. That just made me feel 50. we would watch TV late at night with my parents, and it would be like, our bedtime, I think, was like 9 o'clock, and it was a very strict 9 o'clock. And we would watch a TV program, and then at the end of it, my parents would be like, as soon as it was over, my parents would be like, okay, time for you to go to bed. I mean, they were like, they wouldn't even let like the characters say the last sentence. They'd be like, okay, boys, time to go to bed. And we would look at each other like, but no, but we have to watch scenes. And I don't know why we came up with the term scenes, but it was like the preview for the next episode of the show, and we called it scenes. I don't know if that was like a thing or if that's what it was called, but it was like the teaser for the next week. So I want to do like a teaser for coming videos, I guess is what I'm saying. And I was supposed to leave that for the end. So now the teaser is ruined. That's like me. I mean, if I had a chance, I'd probably eat green bananas. And then also, like, I think about it, and I always hated that term too, by the way. But here goes the video. It's late, and I get slap happy. I guess I could blame it on it being late. I don't know. But this Victorian gold chain, this is probably coming up next as well. But that's high carat gold, and not Hallmark gold, but this is incredible. And I think I brought this in a video a while back. I bought this for literally no money. Literally no money. And the gold solder seams and the way this is constructed. And this is Victorian. And you look at that and you say, are you sure that's Victorian? Because it sure looks contemporary. It sure looks bold and geometric. And I swear some of these creators back in 1860 were time traveling. That's 1860, 1870. But all high carat gold construction. Really gorgeous chain. And not even thought of by the person that sold it that it could possibly be gold. But we'll bring that back. And then this one, like I said, we'll leave that for the teaser for a minute. I think this is part of the teaser too, but this is the Tiffany gold keychain. And really, when it gets into, it fits in perfect with the video. It fits in perfect. Excessive. Having wealth, and then who needs a gold keychain? No one in the world, but it's a want, it's a desire. And there's the Tiffany mark there, Tiffany and Company. Wish I could go in closer on that. But you see it, Tiffany and Company, and then the 14 karat mark there. And then this isn't marked, by the way. So if this had been taken off of this ring, and you were to find this at the thrift in like a jewelry bag, they might have that in a jewelry bag saying, well, that's probably just a knockoff. Nope, no, that's not a knockoff. That's a genuine, authentic. Oh, is it marked right there? I missed it. Yep, it's marked. Finally, there we go. Look, I even missed it. So you think a person at the thrift is going to see that really worn down 14 karat mark right there? Look, it's almost completely gone. And I missed it, but yeah, that's marked 14 karat. It wouldn't surprise me if that wound up in a bag lot or a jewelry jar. Go slow. But I will say, I found this at the thrift, and I think it was in the 50-cent bin, I think it was, or $1.50. It was either 50 cents or $1.50, and in gold it's like 1,000. No, I'm sorry. Now it's like 2,000 something dollars, because that ring is like ridiculously large, 14 karat gold. Look how thick that is. If that was a Tiffany ring, that'd be like $4,000, But I think for the right person that has a really fancy car that needs a gold Tiffany piece. All right, we'll leave that there. That'll be the teaser. That'll be the please come back and see Jason in just maybe 24 or 48 hours. Depends on chronological of my videos. But this is what I wanted to really go in on. And now that I'm 28 minutes in, and now I feel like I want to bring these back too. But I'll do a quick thing here, and I'll show you both of these. And I hope that you've enjoyed this video, and that the shows and tells is something that you would enjoy, because these are really easy for me to do. They're very, very simple for me to do. And then you'll say, I had no idea that you collected all of these objects as well, rather than just jewelry. We'll start with this one. So construction on this was, back in the day, was a little bit confusing. And I'm not certain what animal this came from, but it's extremely early, and it is horn. So that is technically horn. And there are these striations that run through it that are the natural growth lines of the horn or the antler. So there we go on that, and we turn and we twist, and you can see that undulation of natural striations inside of this, and that was turned and lathed and absolutely gorgeous to create a simple dip pen. So you would dip in your ink and then you would write your beautiful letter. And my writing is terrible, so I would never dream of using these. Now, when we look at the other parts of construction, you might say to yourself, what is the material from here to here? And what is the material on there? And that's solid 18 karat gold. Now, we know that for a few different reasons, but these are also little, and those are the tiniest sugarloaf rubies I've ever seen, and those are sugarloaf. See how they're rounded like a cabochon, but they come up to almost like a little pyramid that's four-sided? That's a sugarloaf cabochon, technically. So, and those are genuine rubies. Imagine setting a pen with an 18 karat gold bail here and an 18 karat gold cap here. You might say to yourself, well, how do you know it's 18 karat gold? Well, on the very end here, and we'll go in right there. See that tiny little mark right there? That is the gold hallmark that this went through France. And it went through Paris, France. I did do a lot of research on these back in the day, but again, I haven't seen these because these are in right there. Okay, there we go. I've done limited research, and then I kind of gave up because what I had realized is these may have started life somewhere else. And, you know, jewelry historians, we don't stop at anything when it comes to the history of jewelry. So there's the very faint 18 karat gold hallmark right there. And that's as close as I'm going to get on this because my loop is going to fog up very quickly. It's very cold outside today and over by my window. So there's the mark there. Before I get too tired and can't find the right words, that's 18 karat gold, and it's very substantial. It's very thick. It's very heavy. In the hand, it's very balanced. This pen is incredibly balanced. When you talk about objects of virtue or something that is excessive, that is very expensive, you know, there's thresholds of that as well. There's like a good, a better, and a best. These would fall into the best category of two of the finest pens I've ever seen. And I do have a pen collection. I'm looking around because I do have some pens on the floor over here that I was sorting. And when you see pens like, well, I'll show you. You know, you see like, this is for another video, but you know, you see Parker, Parker 51s in their original box. And back in the day, they were $25 and these were never used. And they have the jeweled tops on them, all wrapped up in their fitted box. So you see something like that. And then you see these, I believe these are by Wall, I think. The, Red Ripple, fountain pen and pencil in its fitted box. These are things that I was going to do these in another video, and obviously I'm going to have to, but I was looking for one more to kind of show you, well, okay, yeah, I could show you these, I guess, but like this lapis, this lapis, it's a Parker lapis, and back in the day, that lapis pen, but it's, plastic, but they call it lapis, that was $750, back, I don't know when, way back when, but anyways, so we'll get into pens eventually, because that's another thing that, like, why wouldn't I collect them? So, these, though, the finest I've seen, museum grade, belong behind glass. And I bought these at the flea market years ago from a dealer, and just an amazing man. And that's all I'll say on that. And then down here, these have the 2 gold hallmarks as well. And I think he just missed, the gold hallmarks. But see the eagle right there, facing right? That's from Paris, France. That's definitely a French gold hallmark, at least, again, from my memory. I think my gold book is out. We'll take a look at that. Look at those rubies, though. Look at that for the little I should have done this right. I should get a magnifier for my videos. You know what I'm going to do? I think I'm going to get a magnifier to help out with my videos. So 18 karat gold enamel down here. Now, origin on this, I'm not convinced that these are originally from France. And someone else would have easily said, oh, those, you know, since they have the French hallmark, those are from France. I don't think so. I think you need to slow your roll. I think some people need to slow down and settle down and keep their pants on. These read much more as Russian to me in construction and enamel and craft. Could they still be from Paris, France? Sure, absolutely. Is my intuition that they're not? Yeah, my intuition is that they're not. Based on material, form, and design. That's all I'll say on that one. Now, this gold Hallmark book, I had brought this on before, and this is the World Hallmarks Volume 1. Gold, silver, platinum, palladium. I wish I could get the whole thing in there. It's not going to work. But Danusha, and I think her, it was like Nikolwitz. I think it was Nikolwitz. Anyways, I was very friendly with Danusha. And look, she signed my book to me, to Jason. Happy Hallmark hunting, Danusha. So anyways, I brought that on one other time. But this book is like $300 now. But why this helps is, let me put this in. Oh, it's not going to work. So way down here, this is the domestic gold hallmarks, 1919 to 1994. And these gold hallmarks replaced earlier hallmarks. So what's going on here is at least these two pens, I wish I could, it's right here, right out of frame. There's the eagle, there's the, to me it's an eagle, and it's in a hexagonal frame with the number 3 under it. That's 750. That's 18 karat gold from Paris, France. Okay, so there's no denying that that hallmark is 18 karat gold from Paris, France. Why am I screaming? Now I'm getting all revved up and I gotta go to bed. Let's see. Oh, I could just get, nope, I can't even get it in there. I'm not gonna try because, here, no, I'm not gonna zoom out. I know what's gonna happen. You'll have to, here, just imagine this is right side up. Just imagine that's right side up. See it? Eagle, facing right, in a hexagonal form. Is that a hexagon? Number 3, 750, and Paris, okay? So that's like post-1919. I think these pens are slightly earlier, so I think we've got a problem with that already. Let's look at this. It's not on the barrel. Oh, I remember. It's right here. So let's zoom in on, you see that little mark, and someone would say, well, that's a dent. That's a nothing, Jason. What, you're imagining things. I'm not imagining anything. Hello, let's look. Hello, anyone home? Let's look. Oh, look, it's the eagle with the number 3 in a hexagon. Boom, Paris, France. Paris, France, Hallmark for 18 karat gold. So this was hallmarked as 18 karat gold. Look at how bold the enameling is on that 18 karat, and it's so thick. It's like the thickest piece of 18 karat gold. Could you imagine the amount of money that this would have taken to create? Now this down here, I pronounce it bretoidled. That's the way I pronounce it. It's bretoidled agate, or bretoidal agate. And there's, there's a push and a pull inside this stone. I wish you could see it. I don't know. Let's see if we can go on black and see if that works. Give me 1 second and I'll be right back. Look, it's magic. I should have waved my hand. Look, we're in a black background now. So I hope you can see that there is, no, it's not going to do it. It's too bright. Let's see if I can put oh, you can see it there. Do you see that kind of, it looks like water running back and forth as you turn that barrel of this? See that water running back and forth? That's bretoidal agate. See it right there? Oh, wow. What is going on? What is going on? It's absolutely magic. I wish you could see this in real life. It's 10 times more beautiful in real life. Let's see if we can put this on a darker background and roll it. Oh, now you can see it a little bit more. But it's absolutely the most gorgeous agate that I've ever seen, and it's all hand wrought, hand turned. And it's just incredible. These two pens are the finest I've seen ever, and I've seen, I don't know, thousands and thousands of pens. I've had about a year ago, I had gotten into a pen collection that was, I think there was over, I don't know, maybe there was like 3,000 pens, and they were amazing, amazing writing instruments. And think about who had these on their desk, and think about whose hand was on these, and then to find, two of them. To not find just one, but to find two, and to have survived again and not been melted down or lost to time. I think that's where I'm going to leave the video, because my brain is just done. It's just saying I'm almost at a point of now completely revved up. So I need to go do a little meditation so that I can slow myself down. I want to thank all of you for joining in today, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Just another fancy show and tell with some glimmers of some useful information. Please be mindful on Hallmarks. Please go slow. These pens were sold for $20 a piece at the Hartville Flea Market. I would say retail, it's very difficult to tell, but you might disagree and say, oh, that's way too much. I would say it's a toss up to an advanced collector. They're many thousands of dollars, $2,000 to $2,000 to $2,500. $1,500 to $2,500. Someone would give them a pre-auction estimate of $500 to $800. Any organization or any national auction house would say $500 to $800, knowing all full well that they're worth much, much more, and would exceed that by quite a bit. I would say, if they sold for $1,500 each, I wouldn't be surprised. If they are in fact able to be, certified by the maker, whether they be Russian or French, I would say that could, elevate the price by double. So it doesn't surprise me, because such things just aren't seen very frequently. And I'll let you get in there on all of that detail work again, and how these are constructed, and how absolutely beautiful these are handled, and the craft and the skill that went into making these and manufacturing something so beautiful. I am amazed, and those, being hallmarked in 1919, they are obviously made before 1919, so were they made around 1890, 1910? Yeah, I would circa date them between that, and more appropriately, probably 1900 to 1910, and then hallmarked in 1919, whenever they made it through Paris, France. So I really appreciate the time and the attention. And again, if you have any comments on future videos, please let me know. But I'm going to stay right in my happy zone, which is right inside this light box with you, because I absolutely love you.